Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video I'm going to be talking about solo travel because I had a few people asking me could I do a video on it and my thoughts and tips and stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below if you have any video suggestions as well. I would like to film quite a few because we're in level 5 lockdown now at the minute in Ireland. You can't really leave your house and you can only go 5 kilometers away for exercise and that's it. So this is going to keep me sane while we're in lockdown. First of all, I'm not an expert on solo travel and I haven't been away by myself for long. Like I think the most I've done is 3 or 4 days by myself. I went to Madrid and I've been to Berlin. Madrid was in August, so it was during the summer. And then Berlin was in February, so it was freezing cold. I'll start off with kind of my general tips for it. Then I'll do safety tips, I'll do what I think are the benefits of solo travel. And then I had a question box on Instagram and a few people asked me questions, so I'll answer them at the very end. First kind of general tip I'd give, it's probably going to be a new place, so you might need to use Google Maps or something like that. So you can actually download Google Maps to use offline in case you're going to a place where you mightn't have phone reception or you don't want to use up your data when you're there. Is it data or data? So you can put in, say, airport to where you're staying, and then you download that map and you just follow it offline. Doesn't matter if you have reception or not, it's there on your phone. I would say another thing with directions is a lot of people, I think, when they go away, I feel they're like, oh my god, this is so hard to find my way around. I'm going to get lost, blah, blah. But if you think about it when you're at home, so I live in Dublin, so if I'm in Dublin, say the city centre, and I need to get somewhere on the south side or whatever, and I'm not sure how to get there, I just look it up on my phone and then I get the bus or the train or whatever and it's fine. Whereas I feel like when people go away, they're all panicked. They're like, oh my god, I'm going to get lost and no one's going to know where I am. And then I'm going to be like found dead in 10 days time on the side of a mountain. But think about it realistically, just because you're in a different place doesn't mean finding directions is hard. You know how to do it already, so don't be struggling. So next thing is kind of safety. I feel like it's a little bit different if you're a girl traveller versus a boy traveller, solo traveller. But like all the tips can be used for boys and girls. The first one I've heard but I haven't tried. If you're a girl and you don't want to be bothered by people, if you wear a ring on this finger, people will think you're married, so they won't bother approaching you. So that could stop a lot of people approaching you. I've never tried that, but I do normally wear a ring on this finger, which I think a lot of people get confused which hand is the right hand. So I don't know, does it work? I haven't tried it, but I've heard it, and I think that's a good tip as well if you're really nervous about people approaching you and trying to chat you up or whatever. Put a ring on it. It'll stop a few people. It won't stop everyone, but it'll stop a few people. Tips for booking where to stay. Normally, if you're booking to stay in a hotel or like a bed and breakfast or an Airbnb, it's the same price for 2 people as it is for 1. Where it's the same price, I will always book for 2 people. Just because then, I don't know, like you arrive and you check in and the person says, oh, room for 2, and you can say, yeah, it's just me checking in now, but my friend is arriving later or whatever. And that just means that the people working in the hotel don't think you're there alone. Half the time they don't ask where the other person is. So if you're going to a city, I'd stay somewhere quite central. This just means that if you're out, say for dinner, and you're walking around and then if you get back to your hotel or your Airbnb, you don't have to get public transport for say like a half an hour or 45 minutes by yourself at night time. I try as much as I can not to be out like when it's dark because the vampires come out. I think that's a tip for men and women because both can be attacked at night time. Either try stay where the area where your hotel is at night time, or just don't go out if it's really late or really dark by yourself, because anywhere in the world is more dangerous at night time. I'd also say another safety tip is if you're going somewhere and you kind of know what you're going to be doing each day, Text like your family or your friends, let them know, so this day I'm going to this museum, I'm going to this park, and then I'm doing a walk here and I should be home at around 7 or 8. Like, I'll text you then to let you know I'm home, just so that if they don't get a text off you and it's like 2 in the morning, they might think, okay, something might be wrong, and they could kind of tell the police or whatever. If it does get to that, they could tell the police, well, she was going here, 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 and then they can look into it. Or I always like send my live location for a while sometimes, just during the day, um on WhatsApp, and then they can just see where you are. Another tip is, because you're traveling alone, so if you get robbed or pickpocketed or whatever, and like your card and your wallet or purse is stolen, if you have, say, half your money at home in the hotel and leave your passport at home in the hotel or Airbnb or whatever, or if you're staying in a hostel, if there's like a safe locker you can put it in, leave that stuff back there, so that if you do get robbed, you still have money left over. Or if you have, say, a bank card and a Revolut card, leave one of them in the hotel, so that if one does get lost or stolen, you still have one and you can kind of survive with that for the rest of the time you're there. I'd also say, if you're thinking of solo traveling and you want to go and get drunk for the whole time you're there, I don't think that's the safest thing to do. When I was in Madrid, I just had a few drinks during the day and then a drink or two at dinner. But the hotel had a rooftop bar, so I'd go up to the rooftop bar at night time and just sit there, have a few drinks. I was never drunk. And then same with Berlin, I'd have like a drink during the day or whatever. There was a place near my hotel that I'd stop off and have a drink or two before I went in for the night. Now, obviously, if you find a group of people and you've kind of made friends with them and you feel really safe with them, that's fine to let loose a bit more. But I'd still be a bit cautious, and like, don't leave your drink down when you go toilet or at, and don't leave it unattended. I just don't think it's smart to be going out and getting locked and then not know where you are, and there's no one there to like look after you or whatever. These next things are kind of what I think are the benefits of solo traveling. I like being with people, but I also don't like being with people. When we went interrailing or any holiday that I've been on with scouts, you're with people all the time, apart from when you go to the bathroom. And even sometimes when you go to the bathroom, you're with other people. And I find that when I get home from those kind of trips, like my mum, dad be asking me like, how was it? Tell us about what you did. And I'm just like, fuck off. I feel like I get drained from other people almost. I love solo traveling because it's like, I'm not in the house with my family or anything. There's no one I know around. I'm just by myself. I think it's great to get away like once or twice a year. You should do it, at least. Or at least once in your life. I'd say even when you're solo traveling, you're never completely by yourself if you don't want to be. When I went to Madrid, it was my last day. I just went for a little walk around the neighborhood I was staying in, and I just sat down outside and I had a beer, and there was like 6 or 7 other tables beside me, and this man approached me and said, oh, do you mind if I sit here and have a drink with you? And I was like, yeah. I find it really interesting talking to strangers. They're not dangerous. He sat down and we talked for like an hour or so. He was just telling me that he's from Mexico originally and he moved over to Spain for work, and he worked between Spain and Finland, I think it was. And we were just talking about what he did, what I did, why I was here. And it was just nice to talk to someone new and get to learn their life. If you want to approach someone, or it could be even in a park, if you're sitting on a bench and someone will come over and say like, oh, can I sit beside you? And then you talk to them. People will approach you more when you're by yourself. If you think about the other way around, if you're somewhere and you see someone by themselves, you might go over and talk to them. Whereas if they're in a big group of people, you're not really going to go over because you're like, oh, they're with their friends or their family or whatever. I've seen a few videos about solo travel, and this is obviously if you're solo traveling for a while, so 1 month, 2 months, 3 months by yourself. They were saying like a good way to make friends is stay in hostels, because you're kind of forced to be in a room with other people and forced to stay with other people and talk to them. And my number one benefit of traveling by yourself is you get to choose when and what you want to do for the whole time you're there. If you're hungry at 7 a.m. and you want to go out and get breakfast, you can just go out and get breakfast. If you want to have Italian for dinner, you can just go get Italian for dinner. I really like museums, and one or two of my friends, they do like them, but I know one of them absolutely hates them. And you just feel like when you go to a museum and you know another person there absolutely hates them and they just went to please the group, and they're kind of standing there, they're not reading it and they're looking at it, and they just want to get out of there as quick as possible. Obviously, when you're by yourself, you can take as long as you want. In Berlin, I went to, I think it was just the German History Museum, and I think I was there for 3.5 or 4 hours. Now, it is massive. Even just to walk around, it would probably take an hour anyway if you didn't stop and look at stuff. And I didn't feel in a rush because there was no one with me. Also, one of the days I was in Madrid, I wanted to get up really early because it was obviously quite warm there in August, and I wanted to go to a park. So I think I got up at 6:30 or 7 and left the hotel. I got a coffee and a croissant to bring with me to the park, and I walked to the park instead of getting the metro. So I think it took me like a half an hour or 45 minutes or something. And I was just going to the park to have a look around, sit and eat my food, and then do a bit of shopping on the way home, and then go to the pool for the rest of the day because that's what I wanted to do. Thanks everyone who asked questions. So the first one I got is, how did you feel the first time you went solo traveling? So the first time I went solo traveling was in August 2018, and I went to Madrid, as I said. Now before this, I have flown a good few times by myself, so like the whole airport thing by myself, that doesn't bother me. I'm used to going through security by myself, finding my gate, so that bit was fine. Then when I got to Madrid, I had to get a bus and a metro. I got to the hotel and couldn't check in, so I was kind of forced to go out by myself. And I just went to one of the main squares in Madrid, and I just went and sat down, got a few tapas and had a beer and just sat and people watched. I felt really relaxed, and I also felt proud when I got home because I survived a whole weekend by myself and I didn't die. So the next question I got asked was, what do you do at meal times? And my answer to that would be, I ate. But I know that's not the way they mean it. I think they're talking about kind of eating alone and how did I find that. A lot of people, when you say you've solo traveled, they go, what about dinner time? Like, what do you do? Is it not really weird? Are people not staring at you? Is it not awkward sitting there by yourself? Think about this. Have you ever eaten your lunch alone? Or your breakfast alone? If you have, I personally don't see a difference between breakfast, lunch and dinner. If you're somewhere where you can kind of sit on the street, you can sit, have your food, you can people watch, you can bring like a Kindle or a book or a magazine with you. Everyone has their phone, so you can go on your phone if you want. No one is looking at you. They're busy with other people that they're with, so you can be busy with your food. And then the last question I got was, did you ever feel uncomfortable walking around by yourself in the day or the night? No. Well, maybe once or twice. When I was in Madrid, I was walking, there was a restaurant right around the corner that I was going to for lunch. And so this was obviously during the day. And I was walking around, and like there was an old man in this little dingy bar at the door having a smoke, and he said something chica caliente or hola guapa or something like that. I just did what I do at home and ignored him. This is, I think, kind of similar to like eating by yourself. What's the difference between breakfast, lunch and dinner? Walking by yourself, do you not do that at home where you live? Like, do you not go out on walks by yourself? Or if you're in work, when you go out at lunchtime, are you not walking by yourself? A lot of people, the questions they ask is kind of like, but what if other people think you're weird for being by yourself, or blah blah. They don't care. Other people are more worried about themselves, so don't be worried about what other people think of you. Another thing I'd say as well, if you're walking around, strolling around, you look like you're not really going anywhere, robbers or people trying to take advantage of you will target you more. But if you're walking around as if like, I know where I'm going. Have a bit of confidence about you and people won't bother you. So if you look like you've a purpose, they'll probably leave you alone. Obviously, as I said before, walking around at nighttime is a lot more dangerous than walking around during the daytime, simply because there's less people out. It's the same, I think, anywhere in the world. There's dangerous parts of places you can visit, and then there's safe parts of places you can visit, and always trust your gut as well. That's everything for today. If you have any more questions, let me know and I'll answer them. Let me know what other kind of travel videos you want me to do and I can film that for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.